Hi people!
Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk to you about the books that I want to read this month. So what you might call a December TBR.
So I have
10 books on the list again, and even though I have never read that many books in my life, I still feel the delusion is still giving me the strength to go on. So anyway, I have this handy dandy little side table here now since I did my living room makeover, so go and watch that if you're interested. But here is my pile of books for this month, and they're in order of what I'm going to talk about. So it's a bit of an haphazard pile, a haphazard stack, if you will. I can keep them right next to me on this little table here. It makes my life a lot easier. That wasn't even the intention of putting a table here, but it did work out that way, so very happy about that. It's the delusion for me that keeps me on track with all these books. And you know, if you don't win, you don't know. If you don't try, you don't win, right? So let's just get into the books that I want to read this month. I have some regular everyday books on my TBR, as well as some wintry reads, and also some full-on Christmas books.
So now to get into the
meat of this video and talk about these books. Ew, that sounded gross. I'm sorry. Let's just get into it. So first up, while I'm still waiting for my special editions to come in, which are still not here, I decided to finally give in and purchase the paperback of Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros.
I was getting
More worried about getting spoiled for this one, so I finally decided to just go ahead and buy it. I have the paperback for Fourth Wing, so this can go with that one. And then I ordered the special edition Black Edged Fourth Wing and the special edition Flame Edged Iron Flame. So I thought those could go together, and these two paperbacks can go together. And I spent more money than I should, but you know,
at least I can
now finally read Iron Flame and hopefully not get spoiled.
I am very
skeptical about these special editions still arriving, by the way, because if they haven't arrived yet, will they arrive? I'm not sure. But the customer service agent of the store that I pre-ordered these books from, she says that they're definitely still coming. She just doesn't know when. So we will see. I'm skeptical, but I have the paperback at least. So Iron Flame is the sequel to Fourth Wing, which is, so I'm itching to see what will happen next with this one.
But Fourth Wing is
about a girl who lives in a world that is in constant tension and fighting a border war.
And even though she's
studied her whole life to become a scribe, her mother in the end forces her to enlist in the military school, and not just any military school, the top military school. The students of this school are the top military people, or at least they're going to be once they graduate, and these people are training to become dragon riders.
And this school
is known for losing about 75% of all first-year recruits to death. They all die.
And Fourth Wing
follows our main girl while she navigates her first year in that very dangerous school.
And of course
that also includes some romance. And Iron Flame is supposed to be her second year in that school, so very curious to see what happens. Being ended with some cliffhangers, so I just want to know what's going to happen. So I'm probably going to get into this one very soon. I'm still finishing a read from November, but yeah, once I finish that, maybe even sooner, maybe even before I fully finish it, I'm going to get into Iron Flame, because I've been waiting for a month for this book and it's finally here, so I'm going to really quickly get into this one for sure.
And then we're
already getting into the more wintry reads with For the Throne by Hannah Witten. And this is the second book in the Wilderwood duology.
For the Wolf,
the first one.
And For the Wolf
is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, or at least is very much inspired by that story.
And that one
follows Red, who is the second daughter of the queen, and thus she is destined to be sacrificed to the wolf when she comes of age. And all of the second daughters that have gone into the woods before her have never returned and are said to be dead. Everyone is very sure that they're dead. They don't know what happens in the Wilderwood. No one actually goes in there, but everyone knows that there is magic and that there is a big bad wolf who is very bad and will kill you, will kill every second daughter of the queen.
So I read for the
Wolf last winter and I really enjoyed it.
It had some really
beautiful descriptions of the forest and wintry type of season. And I was walking my dog yesterday through the woods, and it had snowed, and it just really reminded me of For the Wolf, and it just got me really excited to pick up the second book, For the Throne, which has been sitting on my shelf for probably a year now.
And For the Throne
follows Red's older sister Neve, who is the first daughter of the queen, and thus she is destined for the throne. And thus the name.
So this one is also
set in a matriarchy, which we love. They probably don't have many wars in that country because women are not nearly as emotional as men are when it comes to making decisions.
Very heavy decisions
as well. Men. Don't take me too seriously, but I do mean it. I do mean it, but I'm just joking. So am I joking or am I not? You will never know. Maybe I am. Might not be.
For the Throne does not take
place in that forest that For the Wolf was taking place in. So I'm just hoping that the vibes will still be as good as they were in For the Wolf. I'm very excited to get into this one, at least. So next I have another wolf themed book, which is Wolf for a Spell by Kara Sutton.
And this is
a book about a wolf who teams up with Baba Yaga to save the forest from a tyrannical Tsar.
So this book is
another fairy tale retelling from Russian folklore.
And it also has
Freaky Friday aspect to it because the witch Baba Yaga casts a spell,
which makes the witch Baba Yaga and
the wolf switch bodies, and you know the wolf finds itself in Baba Yaga's body, and the witch will go into the wolf's body and she bolts, she runs away, is what the blurb is saying. A very fun read, and I can't wait to cozy up with this one on a wintry day and just read this one.
This is a
children's book because there's pictures and the letters are very big, so I am guessing that I can see there's pictures. I can get through this one probably very quickly because, as I said, it's probably middle grade.
I loved Emily Wilde's
Encyclopedia of Fairies, which was also middle grade, and so I'm usually skeptical about reading middle grade books, but I loved that one. I also very much liked T.J. Klune's
House on the Cerulean
Sea. So I'm opening up my world to, you know, other graded books.
So next up we're
moving back into adult, maybe it's young adult, I'm not sure. Romance on Ice, and it's Icebreaker. And I have heard a lot of good things about this one. A lot of people really like this one. So I thought it would be fun to pick it up for winter because look, doesn't this look exactly like winter?
And this is about
a competitive figure skater who is trying to get into Team USA, and she's working very hard to get into that team, but something happens to her ice skating partner, and because of that the captain of the college ice hockey team where she goes to college, he has to kind of fill in her partner's place, and and he has to be her partner for the figure skating. And of course, a romance between the two commences. So first of all, figure skating is such a beautiful sport. When the Winter Olympics are on, I always try to watch the figure skating, and you know, that's just very lovely to watch. I'm hoping that there will be some really beautiful descriptions of the sport, and I am very curious to see what it's like to be a competitive ice skater. And also it just sounds silly and funny and like a fun read to get into on a lazy Sunday. So a lot of people rated this highly, and it's also the first in a series, and I've never read a romance series, so I'm very curious about that as well, and I'm very excited to get into this one.
Up next, we're
Going to get into some more Christmassy books, which aren't Christmas books at all, but they just feel very Christmassy to me because I always watch their respective movies during the holidays.
So first of all, I have
The Mina Lima edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is so beautiful. We all know this one and we all know what it's about.
This is definitely
a reread for me. I've read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone so many times, but I've never actually read the Mina Lima edition of it. And I'm very curious, I'm very excited to get into that one because it's such a beautiful book and it just seems like a very immersive type of look. Look, oh my god. Look, this is, oh my god. What's it called? Diagonally. Look, it's so beautiful. I think I will have a great time reading this. And this is just a comfort read, which December is the perfect time to do some comfort reads, right? I haven't read Harry Potter in a few years. Don't get me wrong, I definitely did read it a few times as an adult, but I haven't in a few years. I think 2, maybe 3 years. I haven't actually picked up a Harry Potter book, which is usually I read them every year. So it's been a while and I'm very excited to get into this one. I'm cozying up with this one with some Harry Potter themed cocktails and treats and just, yeah, sit and read. That's gonna be a great time. So, and the next one I actually have never read before, but I did watch all their movies every year around Christmas and sometimes in the summer and the spring, and a lot of times. I really love these movies and my husband loves them even more. And they are fantasy classics, so I really want to read these. First, talking about The Lord of the Rings, I'm going to pick up The Fellowship of the Ring at least in December. It's a very tiny book. I got this beautiful, beautiful set of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, but they're very small. Look at the letters, very small. The pages are very thin, like Bible papers. So anyway, this one is almost 400 pages. So I can definitely get through this one, I'm sure.
So I just finished
reading The Hobbit the other day and I really loved that one. It gave me very cozy, very fun feelings. So I'm hoping that The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring will definitely do that as well.
And I am very
curious to read this one because I love the movies so much. And usually books are better than the movies, right? So can't wait to get into that one. And now we're getting into the real Christmas books. First off, I have Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop here, and I only just realized that this is a sequel actually. So the first book is actually The Christmas Bookshop, and this is by Jenny Colgan. I just looked into my Everend app, and the Christmas Bookshop is available on audiobook on that app, and I have a subscription there. So I'm going to be listening to that book before I get into this one. So yeah, The Christmas Bookshop follows
a woman who is down
her luck. She lost her job and she doesn't have a lot of money, so she is almost having to move in with her sister, which she really doesn't want to. And then she finds a job with an old man that owns an ancient bookshop, and she is trying to revamp this bookshop so that it can attract a lot of people around the holidays. And in the meanwhile, she also is in a love triangle and also trying to kind of better her relationship with her family. But it just sounds like a very cozy and fun read. It takes place in Edinburgh. That city is just so beautiful, and I hope that it really gets through in the book. And then after that, if I am still on that Christmassy type of feeling I can pick up midnight at the Christmas bookshop, which I'm not going to talk about what that's about because it has spoilers for the Christmas bookshop. So cannot really talk about that right now. Another Christmassy book, which is 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss, and this is about a woman who is 34 and she lives in a tiny sleepy town, so it's very Gilmore Girls vibes, everyone kind of business. But anyway, so this woman is 34 and she is single, and her friend then
And she signs her up for
agency that promises love before the holidays. So but it's already December, so there's 23 days until Christmas, and she has in those 23 days 12 dates with 12 different men while trying to find love. This just sounds like a very cozy and very funny book that I can just pick up in between doing more heavy stuff. Now these Christmas books I of course want to finish before it is Christmas, so as it's already December 5th, I really gotta hurry up with that. I might do a themed Christmassy 24-hour reading vlog, reading challenge with those. And subscribe.
So moving back to
normal books.
The next two books
that I'm going to talk about are from my November TBR. And these two I haven't finished or started yet.
But I do
want to get through these, and I do really want to read these. So first off, I have my list by Jane Austen. So I really want to read a classic every month, and last month it was going to be this one, but I didn't finish it. So I am just kind of cheating and saying that The Hobbit was my classic for last month, and this month it's going to be Persuasion.
And Persuasion is the
last book that Jane Austen has written before her untimely death. The main character gets to rekindle her love with a man that she was persuaded not to marry by her family because they thought that he was not of a good status. They weren't a good fit status-wise. At least her family was saying that this was the case.
And I have read
3 books by Jane Austen already, and I loved all 3 of them. So I think I will love this one as well. So I thought it would be great for winter, or at least I read that it would be great for winter or fall. Really curious about this one, and excited to get into it. Well, I already read the first 2 chapters and I already liked those, so we will see what happens. It's not a very thick book. I think it's the shortest Jane Austen novel that is out there, so great. Going to try and finish that one in December. For the end of the year, I'm just realizing that these are the books that I'm going to try to finish before the end of the year. So lastly, I have The Last Queen by Signe Pike.
And this is about a
Scottish pagan queen
who is the sister
by way of the man that inspired the character of Merlin. So very interesting family. She's trying to protect her country and her people and her culture from Christian invaders.
And this is the first book
in a series as well. So by the end of this month I will be in the middle of a lot of series, which was never
a situation
I imagined myself being in, because I always try to finish the entire series just back to back to back. And I am realizing that it might be better to just read one book from a series and then move on to other reads to kind of cleanse my palate, and then get back into the series later when I feel like it again. Help me not get into reading slumps as much.
So that was it.
Those were all the books that are on my TBR for December and for the end of the year.
Now I am
a very slow reader, so you can expect some challenges from me in the upcoming weeks where I try to finish this TBR. And please tell me in the comments some tips and advice on how I could read quicker, how I could read more. And also I would like to know, what are you reading in December? If you have read any of the books that I talked about today, what did you think about it? Did you like them? Did you not? Please tell me. And that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!